Welcome to your Time Warner Cable Sports Channel broadcast. We are here in Pasadena, Texas for the McDonald's Texas Invitational, where we've got 4-0 Atascocita battling 5-0 DeSoto. A great matchup right here on the floor here in Pasadena. Jim Holler joining me here, Jeff Power, and a great matchup, first of all, Jim, on paper. But these two teams, football season now officially over, and these players are ready to get into basketball.
Well, they are, and we've got two terrific coaches going against each other for starters, both defensive-oriented. Chris Dyer, DeSoto head coach, has won 3 state championships. We're in for a terrific game here tonight.
And by the way, David Martinez, the head coach of Atascocita, yeah, he actually coached on Dyer's staff. How cool is that? All right, let's talk about some of the key players. Let's begin with DeSoto.
Well, DeSoto's led by Marquise Bolden, the premier junior in the state of Texas. 6'10". He can do it all, already being recruited by schools like Kansas, UCLA, Texas, Baylor. That's how good he is.
Remember, Terry Maston was the MVP last year for DeSoto, who won the championship. He's over at Baylor now. On the other flip side, let's talk about their counterpart, Atascocita.
Well, Atascocita has a smaller lineup, but they are super quick, play great defense. They're led by a youngster, Carson Edwards, who is just terrific, leading them in scoring at 18 points per game, can literally take the game over.
Keys to the game, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think, first of all, DeSoto's got to take advantage of the size of Bolden in the paint. And then on the other side of Atascocita, they have to withstand the terrific defensive pressure that DeSoto will apply from start to finish.
Should be a lot of fun. Starting lineups coming up next. We'll be right back.
The Pasadena Chamber of Commerce has been a proud sponsor of the Texas Invitational basketball tournament since it began. Our mission is to promote economic development and community growth to ensure the prosperity of our businesses and citizens. Our golf tournament and Taste of the Town fundraising events allow us to invest nearly $20,000 in the lives of our students. We invite you to be a part of the Pasadena Chamber, where together we can build business and support our community.
The best part of being a part is getting back together. Your true love is back. The McRib, only from McDonald's.
Welcome back to Phillips Gym here in Pasadena, the McDonald's Texas Invitational. Jeff Power, Jim Holler joining you now. Of course, the DeSoto Eagles coming into this game with their starting lineup. Number 2, Julian Miranda. Number 3, Leon Sneed. Number 11, Edric Dennis. Number 22, Marquise Bolden. Number 23, Chase Winchester. That is your starting lineup for DeSoto. As for Atascocita, Brandon Lovell is at number 1. He is your guard. Number 3, the 5'11" point guard is Carson Edwards. And number 5, Paris Marquez. Also number 10, Greg Sneed. And number 32, Matt Milrott. And Wilrott, 6'4" post, averages about 8 points a game. Sheed with 10 points, Marquez with 10 points a game as well. And as you mentioned earlier, Jim, Edwards with 18 points per game. He's kind of been a man-child lately. He's had a big growth spurt in the last year, and has been really kind of taken over for Atascocita.
Well, I haven't had the chance to see him play personally, Jeff, but I understand he's the type of young man that's good in all phases of the game. Good penetrator, good stop and jump shooter, good defender, just a good all-around player.
And let's pay our respects here to the United States of America with our national anthem, and then we'll tip it off in just a moment. The boys Gold Division I championship trophy right there for the McDonald's Texas Invitational. And Atascocita got it started beating Clear Creek 65-64. Then knocked out Mansfield Summit 69-56 before finishing off North Crowley 66-60, and then beat Lancaster 59-52. And that's a good-looking Lancaster team that they beat to match up against DeSoto.
Well, that Lancaster team features 6'9" Elijah Thomas, one of the very top players in America, who has already signed earlier last week with Texas A&M.
DeSoto beat Dunbar earlier this year 63-51, then defeated Fort Bend Marshall 75-40, beat Houston Westside 55-51 here at the Invitational. Knocked out Richardson 56-38, and then had a tough game against Hebron, winning it 51-49.
Well, Jeff, when it comes to experience at this tournament, no school in the state has more than DeSoto. They've been in this championship game of this McDonald's Texas Invitational 3 years in a row. They won it last year. You mentioned earlier their MVP, Terry Maston, now playing for the Baylor Bears.
DeSoto still waiting to get a few more football players to come back over and play on this basketball team. DeSoto lost to the Allen Eagles today on a last-second field goal. As for Atascocita, they've actually welcomed back a couple of football players, Donze Peacock and also Trey Hamilton. Atascocita was knocked out by Spring in the postseason last week.
Well, you mentioned those football players, Jeff. One of the starters normally for DeSoto would be Dominique Thomas. In fact, he started in the state Final Four high school tournament last year as a sophomore. That's how good that, well, as a junior. That's how good that young man is. So Coach Chris Dyer was telling me before the game they can't wait to get him back.
And we're getting set to tip things off. Marquise Bolden right there in the center wearing number 22. Watch out for him tonight. He's got great size.
Now, something else to watch out for, look at the back of the jerseys of the DeSoto Eagles. What does it say? Not their name, defense. That's a Chris Dyer specialty. I've never met a coach or watched a coach that does it any better. Coaching, I'm talking about teaching how to play defense, and I'm talking about high school, college, or pro. The man knows how to do it.
Matt Wilrott jumping for Atascocita, but it is Bolden who wins the tip, and DeSoto in the black uniforms trimmed in green and gold with the ball. Atascocita in the all-white uniforms with the red and blue. Atascocita out of the Humble ISD, and quickly right down low, Marquise Bolden, there you go.
Now, what did I say the key was for DeSoto? Get the ball into the paint to Bolden. He's 6 inches taller than the largest eagle of Atascocita. We've got 2 eagles going against each other tonight. Atascocita and DeSoto Eagles.
Wilrott giving the ball off.
Look at this man-to-man. They spread it and pressure you tight all over the floor.
Paris Marquez, and they work the ball around the perimeter. Good guard play for Atascocita. Matt Wilrott driving in the paint, and he lays it up for 2.
Well, you could see big Marquise Bolden coming out on Wilrott. That was a mistake. He came out, no need to come out and pressure that youngster at the head of the circle.
Full court pressure here in the early going for Atascocita, and picked up an early foul is Greg Sheed.
A good look right there, seeing the foul on that sideline right in front of the DeSoto bench.
Sheed averaging 10 points a game. Marquez also averaging 10 points. Inbounding the ball, Leon Sneed, who, by the way, is the nephew of the head coach from Atascocita, David Martinez. Of course, Martinez was an assistant coach for DeSoto. See him in the white shirt up there on the top with the arms raised up. DeSoto on the move. The shot from the outside off target, rebounded underneath by Brandon Lavelle. Here comes Atascocita.
Nice job by Bolden, Jeff, getting the ball out of a double team to the open shooter.
So jump ball called underneath. Looks like Edric Dennis got a hand on it, and no traveling call when neither team has actual possession of it.
Yeah,
so
nice job by the DeSoto defense jumping into that passing lane. They picked the ball up. They're going to jump into the next pass.
Carson Edwards from the three-point line. He's got it.
Boy, that kid has great balance. You could see he was shooting off balance there. Didn't affect him, just drilled it. And a good quick release for number 3 for Atascocita, that being Carson Edwards, their leading scorer.
Yeah, 18 points a game. He's been dominant. 6 minutes to play here, opening quarter. Atascocita up 5-2. Pass inside, just a bit off target was Bolden, and back comes Atascocita on the move. They're quick. Edwards, this one's up and in.
Boy, there we saw him drill the three-pointer. Now he takes the ball, puts it on the hardwood, and gets the good kill on the glass.
Putting his resume up and down for you. Getting a chance to see both the inside and the outside game. Julian Miranda, they work the ball inside. Nice move from Leon Sneed. Sneed for 7-4. Atascocita on top. Substitution. Tajon Starks comes in. By the way, if the name Tajon Starks sounds familiar, well, his brother Gerard Starks played on that 2003 DeSoto team. Edwards gives it up to the corner. Paris Marquez off target. Rebounded by Leon Sneed.
Well, this team has 5 juniors on the floor. Relatively young high school team with no seniors.
Starks underneath. Nice little dipsy doodle, as Gene Peterson used to say here in the Houston area.
Well done, Jeff.
7 to 6.
Peterson.
Can you tell I'm an old Rockets fan? And here comes Edwards, just inside the three-point line. Can't get this one to go. Nice rebound underneath from Bolden.
Well, that was great hands by Bolden in traffic.
Miranda giving it up to Sneed. Sneed back out top. Starks thinks about it, gives it up to
Miranda with the basketball. He was a starter last year in the Final Four as a sophomore.
Foul looks like underneath. Let's get the call. Looks like this was going to be on number 10, Greg Sheed. Yeah, he kind of got that hand in there.
Well, but that was a terrific double down by Sheed, getting back there to make Bolden get rid of the basketball. It's a shame he got called for the foul. That was good team defense.
Miranda works it inside to Bolden, and he lays it in for 2.
Well, how about that? Moving the ball from his natural left hand over to the right hand. Great dexterity for the 6'10 junior.
Speaking of, how about Edwards on the nice move around the back, and foul called underneath.
Boy, Edwards is so quick. Carson Edwards, leading scorer, as you've mentioned, just blowing by the DeSoto Eagle defense.
I'm already liking this matchup. This is 2 powerhouses. Got a feeling we're going to be seeing these teams a little later this year.
2 really well-coached teams, especially for this early in the year. David Martinez, a 5-year assistant coach under Chris Dyer at DeSoto, left after the 2003 state championship season to go to Clearbrook High School here in the Houston area. Good look at Edwards once again on that nice drive with the left hand.
Yeah, he also coached at Humble for 7 years, and then now here at Atascocita for year 3. 9 to 8.
Talking to Chris Dyer before the game, he said he didn't like this, coaching against one of his best friends and one of his old assistants.
Oh, a little holiday fun here. Outside shot, no good. Off target. Inside with the rebound, though, is Bolden. And nice defense by Atascocita.
Well, Sneed missed that little easy chippy shot after the pass inside by Bolden.
That ball was kicked. So Atascocita will inbound it here.
How about these shoes of the DeSoto Eagles? You talk about eye-catching, bright.
Green and lime green. That's a lot of green going on. Paris Marquez gives it up. Loses the handle, though, as Bolden grabs it. Gets it over to Miranda. Miranda runs the point. His job is to distribute it to the big man or find somebody else here open on the wing. There is Bolden. Gets out of the double team, puts it up, can't get it to go, couple rebounds, and he gets it to fall.
Boy, great quickness. It's easy to say, yeah, he's 6 inches taller than anybody else, Jeff, but he knows how to move his feet to get around. He doesn't just reach.
Again, Texas, Kansas, UCLA, some of the teams looking at him. It's the cream of the crop right there. Inside low, nice block from Bolden. Here comes DeSoto trying to run. And Leon Sneed can't get it to go, but DeSoto grabs the rebound, the throw. Oh, nicely snagged out of the air from Dennis. Another steal, loose ball. Starks, he can't hang on to it. Back and forth we go.
Boy, great hustle by both teams. You got to love that effort right there by Matt Wilrott. Hitting the hardwood right in front of our table.
DeSoto leading here early, 10-9, first quarter, 3:04. Both teams with a pair of fouls. McDonald's Texas Invitational.
Well, watch these two coaches on the sideline, Jeff. They're pacing. They're always working as hard as the players are.
Well, this is a championship game. I like to have this on the resume. This is always a good win for the coaches going into the Thanksgiving Day break. Atascocita on the move. You see Donze Peacock.
Oh, my goodness. What a quick shot from Peacock. Only 1 week out of football. Line drive, that one.
Say, from the line to a line drive. There you go. And here comes Miranda. Nice little up and under. Can't get it to go, though. Carson Edwards now on the move, trying to keep the pace going. Shot from the outside is good. Nicely done by Paris Marquez.
Now Marquez averaging 10 points per game. Nice balance up. Good floor spacing that time for Atascocita. How about that full court pressure defense?
Yeah, they get a turnover.
Getting the 5-second call. Good job by this officiating crew here tonight. Roscoe Overton, Darvin Crawford, and Andre Morgan. Look like they're in mid-season form to me.
It looks like Atascocita bringing a whole new lineup here. And, well, DeSoto, I should say, defensively. We'll get to that in a second. As Brandon LaVille with the ball.
Well, that's a common trait of a Chris Dyer coach team. Bring the starters off about 2 minutes before the end of the quarter where they get a good rest.
Peacock's shot is snagged by the rim.
Peacock line drive that one too. He was just a little too close.
Look at Peacock here. That's a good little move inside for the big man. That ball just kind of hung up for him, literally.
The starter missing tonight for DeSoto, Dominique Thomas, is an outside linebacker on their football team and a guard on the basketball team. 6'2", started in the state tournament last year for the DeSoto Eagles.
By the way, Ladarius Young is out for Atascocita. He's out with a hamstring injury. That happened in their last game. That's a big blow for him.
Great defense there by Miranda. Good job putting the pressure on Brandon Lovell.
So we take a look at the replay there, and inbounding the ball will be Lovell. Plays guard and forward. Nowadays, everybody plays guard and forward, don't they?
Versatility now is the name of the game in basketball at all levels. Very few just pure centers left in today's game.
And nicely done underneath. Yeah. That's Young, or check that, LaVille.
Lovell, yeah, great shot.
And back comes DeSoto up the floor. 15-10 here. Atascocita leading. Good move to the paint. Nicely done by Leon Sneed. You might remember last year, Jim, DeSoto jumped on Fort Bend Bush early and never even looked back. And so far here, Atascocita really hanging with DeSoto. In fact, they're leading.
Well, the reason being they have equal quickness to DeSoto. DeSoto usually much quicker than their opponents. Nice job of jumping into that penetration lane by the DeSoto defense.
Yeah, great defense. They wear it on their shirt, and they also wear it on the floor. Good defense. 15-12 here. Atascocita leading. And dribbling up. Starks can't get it to go, and back underneath. That's Cool Arop.
Yeah, cool. He stepped on the out-of-bounds line that time. Didn't have good court awareness. Critical turnover here with 43 seconds to go in the first period.
Should be the final possession here. As they dish the ball around to Smith. Alan Smith back outside. Marquez. I think Carson Edwards just got the memo from his coach. Slow down. Let's get the last shot here. Foul underneath. Looks like on number 3 for DeSoto, Leon Sneed. Let's take a look at this foul real quick, Jim.
That's just the third team foul for DeSoto. You can see him jumping into that passing lane and just grazed Carson Edwards that time.
Maybe a little over-aggressive there. Atascocita Eagles on the move. Up 15-12, final 10 seconds. We'll see what they draw up here. Edwards inside, puts the bank shot up and in. So the bank is open at night in Pasadena, 17-12. And here's a shot the length of the court that is off target. So a great first half for Atascocita, and they lead DeSoto 17-12 here on your Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. We'll be right back.
The Pasadena Chamber of Commerce has been a proud sponsor of the Texas Invitational basketball tournament since it began. Our mission is to promote economic development and community growth to ensure the prosperity of our businesses and citizens. Our golf tournament and Taste of the Town fundraising events allow us to invest nearly $20,000 in the lives of our students. We invite you to be a part of the Pasadena Chamber, where together we can build business and support our community.
The best part of being a part is getting back together. Your true love is back. The McRib, only from McDonald's.
And welcome back to the McDonald's Texas Invitational, sponsored by Pasadena Chamber of Commerce, home of the Texas Invitational. Of course, the city of Pasadena, established in 1893, Community Bank of Texas, bank where you live, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Also McDonald's, our title sponsor of the McDonald's Texas Invitational. I'm loving it, and Jim, I'm actually loving the way this game is getting started for both of these teams.
Well,
that
you're
fired
exactly right, but let me just say, this is what the Pasadena Chamber of Commerce does to put this tournament on. Chairman Ben Metter's been chair of this event for 12 straight years, and just think about this. The Pasadena Chamber is responsible for starting this tournament, and all the 400 volunteers over the 12 years of this tournament, they have given over $1.5 million to the education foundations in Pasadena and Deer Park schools. And that money goes for grants to help teachers do a better job in their classroom. And I just can't say enough about this community and what Pasadena and their Chamber of Commerce does. And my hat's off to Ben Metter and his wife Janet, who have been doing this now for 12 straight years. And in my books, there couldn't be a better tournament than this in the nation, Jeff. 48 men's teams, 32 women's teams in competition since Thursday, playing at 11 different sites. Just think about that. 400 volunteers, a tip of the cap to all 400 of those to make this possible. And while I'm rambling, let me add this. What makes this such a great tournament is the majority of these teams come from outside of the greater Houston area. This tournament puts these teams up in hotels. No other tournament that I know of in the state does that. There's some great tournaments like in the DFW area, but they all come from the Metroplex. This gets the best teams from all over the state. So congratulations to everybody involved with the McDonald's Texas Invitational for another great, great job.
Great competition, too. 17-12. Atascocita leading the defending champions of this tournament, DeSoto. By the way, last year, Duncanville won impressively over Manville, but Duncanville's 17-game winning streak in this tournament on the girls' side was distinguished this year, or extinguished, I should say. Neither one of those teams in the tournament final here today.
Errol Atkins, they were a big star from last year, now playing a lot for the University of Texas women's team, one of the outstanding freshmen in the Big 12 Conference. She was MVP of this tournament last year in the girls' division.
And by the way, North Shore did beat Cy Woods on the girls' side for the Gold Division I championship. 17-12 here, Atascocita on the move in the white uniforms against that lime green and gold and black of DeSoto. Even their head coach is on the sidelines wearing some lime green soles on his shoes. That's a good look over there for Chris Dyer.
That lime green's moving quick, too. Nice job by Marquise Bolden there, getting the hammer down on the penetration by Atascocita.
Yeah, Lovell couldn't quite put it up for two, but let's take a look at that one more time, kind of watching underneath. As the step out, yes, definitely out of bounds right there as Alan Smith was trying to save it.
Well, striped shirts continuing to do a good job.
Can't play without him.
Miranda with the ball. Say again, last year, DeSoto gets to the state tournament. This youngster starting as a sophomore at the point. That tells you how good he is, and now he's a year better. Good
there's
high
the big
pass
man
up to Bolden.
Yep.
Now Bolden with a nice kiss off the glass.
He kept his hands up nice and high after he made the catch. Don't bring him back down, youngsters, if you're watching.
Give Chris Dyer and his staff credit for developing that. That's not natural in young guys.
Big time three-pointer from Edwards. Can't get it to go off the back of the iron. And there to get the rebound is Bolden, and back comes DeSoto.
That's smart the way Atascocita is cutting off those quick outlet passes. They know Bolden's going to get them. They're trying to just slow down their fast break attack and doing a good job by cutting the outlet lanes off.
Well, David Martinez learned from the best, Chris Dyer, so very fitting. Kind of pick his brain and move on. That's what coaches do. Shot from the outside from Miranda off target, and nice rebound underneath. Here comes Paris Marquez. Nice outlet pass. Thinking about a three and dribbling in is Lavelle, and this one's off target.
Yeah, 2 blocks in a row by Big Bolden underneath.
Sometimes you just got to go ahead and pop that shot from the outside. I think he was wide open over there and got his man to jump. That's a good move, but in comes Bolden to knock it free. There's no going over him. And they rotate the ball around. Edwards over to Laville. Back to Edwards. Edwards over to Marquez. Soto with that man-to-man defense. Both these teams play man-to-man. Edwards trying to penetrate. Thinks better. Marquez with the three-pointer. Off the back of the iron, no good. Nice rebound from DeSoto's number 24, Tajon Starks. And the big man underneath, making it look easy. Bolden lays it in for 2.
Well, that's a tough job for Atascocita when your biggest man's only 6'4". Bolden did not get the quick catch, but boy, he turned after he got control of the ball, saw there was not a defender coming from the paint, and just laid it right in.
Beautiful play right there. The court awareness that you've talked about, keeping his feet in bounds. And
Bolden is now the first double-figure scorer in the ball game. He has 10 points for the DeSoto Eagles.
You know, DeSoto reached the Final Four last year. We alluded to that. What do you think it's going to take for them? We'll start with DeSoto to maybe get back there.
Well, there are so many great teams up there in that Dallas-Fort Worth area that it's going to take just consistent play, but their common denominator of excellence is always great defense. And when they get their entire lineup back, when they get Dominique Thomas, who started last year, and Brendan Rushing, another big guy off the football team, back, they're going to be a powerhouse again.
Atascocita, still kind of maybe one of the newer kids on the block, if you will, and but they have done really well in a lot of different sports. Their baseball team made it to the state tournament. A lot of success on the football field. Nice pass inside, but look who's there to block it, Marquise Bolden.
That's the third block of this quarter by Bolden.
Dallas Taylor checks in, gives this one off to Starks, who can't get it to go. Nice rebound from Marquez. Outlet pass to Wilrod. Can't get it, but there to clean it up is Brandon Laville. Nicely job. That's what happens when you run the floor. Good things happen.
Absolutely. Bolden made the block, but none of his teammates were there to get the deflection, and the Atascocita Eagles put it in.
Leon Sneed back out to the top here to Julian Miranda. Back to Sneed. Cross-court pass. Thinking about, is that traveling? It's kind of shielded there. I think that was traveling called.
Well, nice job of spacing the floor that time by DeSoto. Passing it from side to side over the much shorter Atascocita Eagle defense, but got the critical turnover on the penetration move.
Got to watch that pivot foot. The high school level, they'll call traveling a lot more often than they do at the collegiate and the pro level.
Especially the pro level.
You got to teach them young, right?
Oh,
nice
great
pass inside, and that was Marquez scoring for 2. Beautifully done.
That was a great move without the basketball that time by Paris Marquez, who's averaging 10 points per game. That is a skill that is not often used. Move without the ball to the open spot, and you will be rewarded.
You don't see those kind of plays until February, usually.
Well, that was great alert heads-up play.
Bolden
Let's
fouled.
take a look at it now. Well, we're seeing the foul on Bolden. Certainly we're not going to overdo the fact he's got a big advantage. I was hoping we could see that quick cut away from the ball by Paris Marquez.
And Bolden with the free throw here, gets it to go. And DeSoto looking pretty sharp. Here you go.
Look at this. This is the, I believe we're going to see. Now watch number 5, Marquez coming in off the weak side. Beautiful cut. Nice job.
And Bolden did sink the second free throw. So 21-18, Atascocita leading DeSoto in a battle of Eagles here. Atascocita on the move here, over to Peacock, and down inside to Marquez, who can't get it to go.
Yeah, Marquez got the finish on possession before last, but not that time.
And foul called underneath, a little blocking foul.
Well, that was a good penetration move by Leon Sneed, the 5'10 junior that time, forcing the action for DeSoto. The Atascocita Eagles have a few more fans in attendance. They obviously didn't like that call. Could hear them behind me.
Yeah, they are the local team, if you will. Marquez with the foul there. Local as far as these two teams are concerned. Atascocita is a pretty good drive north up in the Humble ISD. Of course, DeSoto up in the Dallas
Boy, look
area.
how Atascocita just doubles down as quick as they can, but he's so tall they can't hardly stop the entry pass into Bolden.
And you know, Bolden's got great size, but Peacock kind of holding his own down inside.
This youngster, just a junior, he's got a nice touch for a big man. I like the way he runs the floor. Good court awareness.
I remember him last year. I've seen a lot of growth in him as far as a player, not just size-wise, but
he's quite a bit stronger than he was last year too. Before he's a senior, he'll be about 20 pounds heavier next year, and really something to contend with.
So great game here for the gold level Division I championship. 21-18. Edwards with a shot from downtown, can't get it to go, but nicely tipped in by LaVille.
Well, LaVille positioned himself beautifully to not foul going up over the black-shirted DeSoto Eagle. Boy, this is a good ball game to watch.
23-18, Atascocita leading DeSoto inside to Bolden. Bolden working that baseline. Nice block underneath from Wilrott. Edwards with the layup, and wow, look at this. Atascocita up 25-18.
Well, beautiful job by Edwards of running the floor, filling that outside lane. He is now the first double-figure scorer for Atascocita with 11.
Yeah, here's the block down low.
Bolden, he should have kicked this ball out. Now watch when he turns right here. He had a man open behind him and then one open on the far baseline. But there's 4 white shirts right there to contend with him. Got to recognize that and kick it out quickly.
Yeah, Wilrott with the block, and also Brandon LaVille got the first block on that play there, as you saw. So Atascocita off to a great start here.
Boy, I like the way Atascocita plays. They're very heady. They take advantage of the openings and the pressure defense of DeSoto and take it tough to the rack. There's 2 good high school teams in the early going here, and still November. Be interesting to see how good these 2 teams are when we roll around to the critical time in March.
Now you might remember last year DeSoto was 31-4, lost to North Shore at the state tournament. Then North Shore went on to beat Converse Judson.
You mentioned that state tournament. 3 of the 4 teams that were in the Final Four are here this year in this tournament. What a great play. How about that by Matt Wilrott, their center. 6'4", making the nice move to the bucket.
Inside to Bolden, 27-18. Atascocita leading DeSoto. DeSoto moving the ball around the perimeter. Dennis with the shot, it's good. That's what they needed right there.
Well, that was really a nice shot by Edric Dennis. Balanced up, better spacing that time for DeSoto.
He's the big shooter for him. Edwards, the big shooter for Atascocita, can't get it to go, but does manage to grab the loose ball. Here he comes again. Oh, nice block by Bolden.
4th block of the game for Bolden.
Kicking it back out. The 3-pointer is off target. Bolden there for the rebound. Can't get it to go. Hey, it looks like the foul might be against Bolden. Let's see.
Well, that was a great effort by the big fella, but we're going to have a chance to see the replay right here. He's coming on the right-hand side of the backboard. Now, they said he grazed 22 for Atascocita, the big fella, Donze Peacock, right off the football field.
22 on 22 there. Bolden called for the foul, and he's actually going to come out, get a little breather here with 1:26 to play in the first half. tell you, Atascocita has kind of controlled the pace of this game. You talked about that kind of being one of the keys.
You know, I asked him before the game, I said, Carson Edwards must really be good, averaging 18 a game for you. He said, hey, I got a lot of good players.
Like Alan Smith.
I sure believe him right there. Nice job, Alan Smith, putting that one in with the left hand.
So 29-21, under a minute. DeSoto moving the ball around. Snead kicks it back out. Winchester now all the way up the other side of the court. Nice move. Can't get it to go, though, but there is a foul called, so Dennis will head to the free throw line. Edric Dennis, good penetration, kind of drew the foul in the paint. Trying to cut this lead down to 6, and there's the first one, 29-22.
Well, this DeSoto team, what a great tradition of excellence they've had, located just south of downtown Dallas, athletic powerhouse in all sports.
You see Ronald McDonald in the distance back there doing his best to coach up. He came over to take a picture with us earlier.
Yeah, he didn't bring any burgers with him.
You were hitting him up for a Big Mac, weren't you?
Well, I was trying to get a Big Mac or a milkshake or a fried pie, anything. He didn't have anything.
I guess you didn't see the hospitality room on the other side, huh?
I'll find it as soon as the game's over, partner.
29-23, Atascocita looks like they're going to try to set up for the final shot. This has been a good first half for Atascocita.
Well, I just like the confidence this team plays with. They're not at all swayed by the presence of the 6'10 Bolden inside. They move the basketball to get someone open for a good shot away from Bolden, even though Bolden has 4 blocks.
Yeah, they've been the better of the two Eagles out here on the court. As they work it around, down to 12 seconds, and there's going to be a foul. That one's on Tajon Starks.
Yeah, that's just the 5th team foul, so they won't be shooting yet.
And that's one of those fouls where I know Starks trying to be aggressive there. He's got the man kind of pinned up against the half-court line there. I never mind seeing a foul like that. You know.
Well, now here's the thing. If that had been the 6-team foul and put them at the charity stripe, that'd be one thing. But they knew they just had 4 team fouls. They could gamble a little bit, so now they'll just play tough half-court D.
Here comes Edwards, down to 5. Sheed, got to get rid of it. Back to Edwards. Edwards going to put it up and blocked. Wouldn't have counted anyway. So probably don't give the block, I guess, in that case to Bolden. But look at the play one more time. Edwards driving inside and Bolden, man, pretty impressive.
He's so agile and reacts so very well, but I just admire the tenacity that the Atascocita just keeps taking it in there. It's been good for them so far.
29-23, Atascocita leading the DeSoto Eagles. We'll be back with much more, including the Ben Metter, who is, of course, the McDonald's Texas Invitation chairman. And we'll have much more here coming up for you here on Halftime on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. welcome back to the McDonald's Texas Invitational, joined now by Ben Metter, who, of course, is the tournament chairman for the McDonald's Texas Invitational. Great game, first of all. You know how to pull out the stops here in the great games. 29-23, Atascocita leading the defending champions of this tournament, DeSoto. I want to get your thoughts. We just talked about this kind of in between the break here about how Chris Dyer, one of those coaches where watch out for him coming out in that third quarter for DeSoto.
He'll have him ready to play. There's no doubt about it. Chris is one of the better coaches. Been a long time in the profession. And, of course, David Martinez with Atascocita was his assistant at DeSoto for I don't know how many years, but they're very good friends. Talk all the time. So it's a good matchup, and I expect the second half to be very, very good.
Yeah, David Martinez actually talked about how he almost didn't like going up against his old mentor, the head coach, Chris Dyer, but getting a chance to kind of show that he's learned a lot from his former coach.
Well, teacher and pupil, we'll see who wins out this second half, Jeff.
Let's talk about 11 different venues. You've got 48 boys teams, 32 girls teams out here at the Texas Invitational, and McDonald's a proud sponsor. Thoughts about how Pasadena, Deer Park, this whole community really gets involved?
Our community has really embraced this event. This is our 12th year, and when you have the cities of Pasadena and Deer Park, the chambers of commerce, the school districts coming together with about 400 volunteers. We work on this tournament all year long, and it's all for the kids, benefiting the kids. All the proceeds go to the education foundations of Pasadena and Deer Park school districts. In the past 11 years, we've donated $1.5 million, and all the monies go into the classroom. So it really highlights athletics and benefits academics.
Let's take care of our sponsors, too. 150 different businesses in the area. I was getting a chance to get out and eat some food today. It's good for the economy around here.
We couldn't do it without the sponsors. We've got about 150 that sign on each year, and they contribute approximately to $225,000 to $230,000. And we pay for the lodging expense for the teams that come in from out of town. We have 29 teams this year out of the 80 teams, and that enables you to get good programs. We assist them with their travel expenses, and so we couldn't do it without our sponsors and volunteers, and all the credit goes to them.
Let's talk about the girls, first of all, from earlier. North Shore kind of pulling the surprise earlier today. It was a game where they trailed Cy Woods for the most part throughout the game, and then came on late in the fourth to win it.
They did, and we were talking about that at halftime, and we expected North Shore to come back, and they're very competitive. They've got a small team, and, of course, Cy Woods is fairly tall, but you never can tell who's going to go to Austin. We like to say the road to state starts here, and I expect one of those two, probably both of them, will be in Austin.
And keep in mind, both of those teams beat Manville already earlier this year. Manville, the defending champions on the girls' side in what was Class 5A, now soon to be Class 6A, or is now currently 6A. But Duncanville had their 17-game winning streak in this particular tournament snapped earlier.
They did, and Kathy Self-Morgan's one of the better coaches. She has over 900 victories in Texas high school basketball, and she brings her team down each year. And we didn't expect her to lose, but she did. And so that testimony to the competition level that we have here in the tournament.
Hey, the glass is always half full, right?
Always half full, that's right.
So let's talk a little bit more about the alumni game that just took place, because this was quite the entertainment. Pasadena won the game over Deer Park, and this is the second year y'all have been doing this.
Second year. Deer Park won last year 35-30, and this brings in a number of the athletes from the past, and the fans really like it because they can identify with those players from 1960s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and it was a very competitive game this year, and Pasadena won out. So next year, I'm sure that Deer Park will be ready.
Yeah, Pasadena found a way to win it kind of late in the game there with a big fourth quarter. Overall, just your thoughts about, now that you've been doing this for about 12 years here, just your thoughts about going forward, maybe an opportunity here to let other people know kind of what's been the secret and how they can get involved.
Well, I think the secret is you've got to communicate with the community, and you've got to let them know what the cost and benefit relationship is. And when people get involved and they have a passion for doing it, a lot of them are high school basketball fans, but some of them come out here and they've never been to a high school basketball tournament. They start coming, and so this promotes high school basketball in Pasadena. This year we have 2 new gyms that we've added at South Houston High School and Sam Rayburn, and so our 11 venues where we play are all just great facilities, and it gets people involved. And I think one of the greatest benefits is you have some networking opportunities throughout the community where people who historically wouldn't know one another ever, they get together at the ticket booth or wherever they're working and volunteering, and they see the benefit of it. they want to sign on next year.
And finally, I did want to ask you about the Phillips Arena here, just the fact that not only named after a legendary coach here in Pasadena ISD, but also the Hall of Fame over here as well.
Stoney Phillips was the football coach when I went to Pasadena High School, and that was a long time ago. And he was inducted into the Hall of Fame this past year. This is something we started 3 years ago, and the Hall of Fame is it's a facility adjacent to Phillips Fieldhouse. We have 20 ex-athletes, former athletes, who've been enshrined in the Hall of Fame, and it's something that people want to go by and see. It's a museum piece, and we've got a lot of memorabilia there from the past, and it's something that really helps us protect the heritage that we are so proud of in this community.
A lot of legendary players from this area and more legendary basketball coming up. Ben Metter, thank you so much again. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jeff. Good to have you here again. Thank you so much.
Good to be here as well. So let's take a quick timeout. We'll be back with second half action again. Right now, it is DeSoto trailing Atascocita 29-23. We'll be right back with much more. Today's McDonald's Texas Invitational brought to you by the Pasadena Chamber of Commerce, home of the Texas Invitational. Of course, the city of Pasadena, established in 1893. Community Bank of Texas, bank where you live. And also McDonald's, our title sponsor here of the McDonald's Texas Invitational. I'm loving it, and I've loved this first half. It's been a great game, and I expect to see a lot more here in the second half with Atascocita leading DeSoto 29-23. Jim?
Well, outstanding point guard with the basketball, Julian Miranda, now is going to have to take ownership of running this DeSoto team back from a 6-point deficit.
And DeSoto in the black uniforms, trimmed in green and gold. A couple shades of green there, I might add. And the Eagles of Atascocita in the all-white. Shot here in the corner by
I just
Dennis.
can't say enough, Jeff, about what a great job Atascocita is doing with this sagging man-to-man defense. Always fronting Bolden, but having people sink in quickly to help.
Marquez can't get this one to go. Back comes DeSoto, keeping that dribble alive. Nicely done there by Sneed, or by Julian Miranda, I should say. Now over to Sneed. Sneed dribble inside the paint. No foul called, should be out of bounds, and it will be Atascocita basketball. Let's look at that replay one more time.
Well, it looked like Leon Sneed just made up his mind to penetrate. He did have a quick open lane there, but I think he thought they would converge on him where he could shuffle it off to Bolden, but just didn't happen, and he hit the hardwood.
His mind had one idea and his feet had another.
Exactly. Well, his mind had Big Bolden coming open, but it did not happen.
Wilrod from three-point land, it's good.
Boy, what great strategy. He's the center in their offensive attack, but knowing that Bolden doesn't want to come out, he pops out and hits another outside shot.
Yeah, the 6'4" post averages 8 points a game, showing you why. 32-23, Atascocita leading DeSoto. Shot from just beyond the three-point line from Sneed, no good. Back over to Miranda, Julian Miranda on the dribble. Being guarded by Greg Sheed. And foul actually called on Brandon LaVille.
Let's watch this last basket by Atascocita. You can see Will Rott stepped out on the three-point line to draw Bolden away from the bucket. Bolden, not used to coming out that far, didn't get there in time to stop Will Rott's shot. That is now 6 points in the game for the center for Atascocita.
The crowd here, Pasadena ISD getting a chance to see a great game here. DeSoto trying to get back in it. We talked about how Coach Chris Dyer does a fine job coming out of halftime. Let's look at this replay one more time. Kind of a loose ball, and I think that one came off Atascocita, and it did. 9-point lead here for Atascocita, and they get the steal.
A great defense on the ball by Greg Sheed. That's just one-on-one heads-up defense, getting that deflection. I talked early on about there was going to be great defense played by both teams. Now, what's surprising is Atascocita is actually playing the better perimeter defense here tonight. That's very unusual against a Chris Dyer team, but after all, he's coaching against his protege.
Of course, David Martinez was on that 2003 coaching staff for DeSoto that won a state title. DeSoto reached the Final Four last year, knocked out by North Shore, the eventual champion. Atascocita has had a great year all the way around, a lot of different sports. Shot here from Edwards is good. Carson Edwards is lighting up again.
Boy, Edwards is so good at what I call stopping on a dime and just shooting up and over the defender. So quick with that jump stop to get his open jumper.
Back comes DeSoto. Miranda to Sneed. Work the ball around the perimeter. Ball tipped, but there's the big man, Bolden.
Boy, this Atascocita team has quick hands. That's two quick straight deflections.
Edric Dennis can't get it to go. Back comes Atascocita, already up 11. Shot off target, but rebounded by Atascocita.
Boy, great hustle there by Brandon LaVelle.
This one blocked by Bolden. LaVille kicks it back out, though.
5 blocks now in the game by Marquise Bolden.
Sheed on the dribble. DeSoto in that man-to-man defense. They come out all the way to the almost to midcourt, half court. Here comes Edwards, and does not get the friendly roll this time. Nice rebound underneath, though, by
Dallas Taylor for the Eagles. Well, I can't say the Eagles. Both teams are the Eagles.
We're going to wear out DeSoto and Atascocita tonight, aren't we? So 34-23. Comes Marquez with the shot. That's a three-pointer. And wow, 37-23 now. Let's look at this, the stop and pop.
Boy, what a great job by Marquez, balancing up, not rushing his shot, hitting nothing but net. Just a great, great performance by these youngsters from Atascocita, part of the humble independent school district.
Paris Marquez had himself a pretty good game so far, and I'm a little surprised here, 37-23. Let's look at the block one more time.
Yeah, you can see the penetration as Bolden comes over there and gets the swat, but Atascocita has not let that intimidate them at all. They just keep coming back for more and finding a way to increase this advantage. They led by 6 at the halftime. And look at Marquez there at the head of the circle, just balancing up. 6-point lead at the half, now 14-point lead with 4 minutes to go in the third period.
You know what was nice about that? The way Marquez immediately saw the loose ball, got himself in position for a pass.
Yep. Very smart. This is a very smart team. Hats off to David Martinez and the job he's done here.
You know, we were talking about DeSoto shoes. How about Atascocita's shoes? Look at those laces.
Yep.
And here comes DeSoto with the ball. The neon colors are in, Jim. This one's out and will belong to, don't want to assume anything here, should belong to DeSoto. Let's see.
Boy, there's just so much quickness on the floor here tonight. It's a pleasure to watch youngsters that hustle so hard and use their quickness to such an advantage.
Julian Miranda with the inbound pass. Nice job by Leon Sneed to keep that one.
Boy, this defense that Atascocita is playing on Bolden's is terrific this third period. He had 12 at the half. He has not scored in the third quarter, and we have 3.5 minutes remaining.
Greg Sheed now giving it up to LaVille. Look at the big man underneath. Donze Peacock flying in the lane for two.
And just keep in mind, last Friday night at this, or Saturday night, he was playing in a high school football game. That's pretty twinkle toes from a football player.
Twinkle toes. Twinkle toes Peacock. There we go.
Oh, my goodness.
Shot will not count, but a foul. And looks like a
Did you see
shove.
Peacock? Watch him take this blow to the chest here on this drive. Watch him. He's used to those big old linemen barrel into him. It didn't even affect him. He just hops right up.
But he went ahead and did a little acting on it while he was at it.
Oh, yeah.
It's part of it. That was before the shot, though. Pass back out to the top. Dennis with the ball, giving it over to Sneed. Sneed on the dribble. Martinez barking out 21 here for defense. Sneed giving it up to Starks.
Yeah, that's the third team foul of this half, this quarter for Atascocita.
Got to look at Martinez there, the head coach for Atascocita, doing a fine job. David Martinez. Soto inbound the ball, careful there. Edric Dennis, nice drive, can't get it to go though, but he'll head to.
I just can't say enough about this Atascocita defense. DeSoto has not scored this half. They have not scored in this period. It was 29-23 at the half. Just a great. This will be their first point. Atascocita's put 10 points on the board now to 1 for DeSoto in this third period of action.
And Coach, I know we always talk about this, the talent in the state of Texas. It's been here for a long time when it comes to basketball.
Well, and this is just a fabulous, fabulous year for talent. Texas A&M, by the way, in the early signing period has the #2 rated recruiting class in the nation, and they're all from the state of Texas. They cleaned up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area with a youngster that played in this tournament, Elijah Thomas from Lancaster, and DJ Hogg, and a big youngster named Davis from Plano West.
Carson
and a kid,
Edwards.
You and I saw in the state tournament last year from Dallas-Madison, part of that class.
Foul underneath, and looks like Leon Sneed will be headed to the free throw line. Check that. That'll be Julian Miranda. He was clocked pretty good. Took a hand to the jaw there. He's a little slow getting up, but he's all right.
Boy, Miranda is a tough, tough kid. I remember watching him last year. Don't want to overdo it, but just as a sophomore, leading this DeSoto team to the state Final Four in Austin. Won't be saying that this time next year. It'll be from the state Final Four in San Antonio.
Yeah, that's going to be a little different over the Alamo Dome.
Great difference, but what a great setting.
The Riverwalk, it's going to be nice. So first free throw here for Julian Miranda. 39-24 here, 2:23 to go third quarter. Look at this play one more time.
This great game is a great indicator of how powerful, terrific defense can be. They have just shut down DeSoto's offensive efforts this third period.
Don't be afraid, right?
Absolutely.
Second one is good. So 39-25 here. What do you think DeSoto's going to have to do to kind of get back in this game?
Well, they've got to stop the outside shooting, for one thing, of Atascocita, but they've got to figure out a way to set some picks to free up Bolden to get some uncontested looks at the basket. They can't even get him touches here in the third quarter.
Might have to bring Ronald McDonald off the bench, huh? Here comes Atascocita now, up 14. Dribble, drive, nicely done to Peacock. Peacock floating around that lane. He's had an impressive game here.
Boy, David Martinez was right. He's got a lot of good players. The depth on this team is just astounding.
Yeah, Troy Hamilton has also come over from football. Of course, they lost that game to Spring. Here's a shot from the outside, off target by LaVille. Rebounded by Bolden. I think they've just kind of taken DeSoto out of their game. DeSoto likes to run.
Yeah, and they like to get the ball inside to Bolden. They're keeping pressure on the passer where they can't get the good open look inside. Then they have good help. And they're controlling the defensive boards. They keep Bolden off. Nobody else is even crashing the glass for the DeSoto Eagles.
41-25 here, down to about a minute to play in the third quarter. Can Atascocita hang on? Nice drive here, and losing the handle, though.
Yeah, that was Stephen Moorhead. He had the right idea. He had Bolden pulled away from the basket, since he's got to step out now and make sure he covers Wilrott.
The thing with that play is Moorhead looked over and saw Bolden starting to break towards him and took his eyes off the ball.
Funny how that works.
It happens in all sports. You got to keep your eye on the ball. And here comes DeSoto back up the floor. They might settle for one shot here. They need a little momentum going into the fourth. They've been sort of taken out of their game. This is the championship of the McDonald's Texas Invitational. Shot from way outside is good, and that'll help the momentum as Tajon Starks nails the three.
Yeah, he balanced up. He was ready to shoot the basketball that time. They've been so conscious of trying to get it into Bolden.
Back comes Atascocita. Greg Sheed on the dribble. Nice defense here from Julian Miranda. And they do get the steal. Back over to Moorhead, who can't hang on to it. And I think Moorhead's going to get called for the foul on top of that. Look at this harem-scarum.
Yeah, that was a good call, though, by official Darwin Crawford right on the play here, and you can see him making the call. Good effort continuing on the part of both teams. Boy, there was a lot of good teams in this tournament, Jeff. I mentioned earlier we had 3 teams from last year's 5A Final Four. You had Allen, you had Converse Judson, you had, of course, DeSoto in here. And who am I leaving? Oh, Galena Park North Shore is the only one of the 4 that was in the state tournament not here.
And the girls were able to make it from North Shore, and they won the Division I gold here at the McDonald's Texas Invitational. Of course, North Shore, the boys team, won the state title last year. Moving the ball around the perimeter, 5 seconds. The shot is up, no good. Nice effort, though, and I do believe that Edric Dennis will be headed to the free throw line. As we look, that was a nice move. He got his man off his feet.
Strong, quick. He got that good, quick first step.
So Dennis heads to the free throw line, and might have a couple players checking in here.
There's no give up in this DeSoto Eagle team. You play for Coach Chris Dyer, you are going to be tough and tenacious. It'll take all of that and more to get back in this game.
First shot off the front of the iron. Checking into the game for DeSoto is Chase Winchester. Bolden checks out. Also on the floor, Greg Sheed back out for Atascocita, replacing Stephen Moorhead. Watch for Paris Marquez on the far side here after this shot. Off target, that might belong to DeSoto, and it does. Can't fight over that ball. 2 men from the same team fighting over it, and they lose it out of bounds. Not to mention, looks like Edwards is grabbing his right kneecap like he might have banged knees. That's always painful in the sport of basketball, those kneecaps colliding.
Edwards is the game's leading scorer. As you mentioned, rubbing that kneecap. He has 13 points. Bolden has 12 for DeSoto.
Yeah, if you hit it just right, it acts like the funny bone, you know, it kind of tingles. All right, 2 seconds left. DeSoto actually inbounds it. Here's the shot. It's good. Big time three-pointer right there. That'll kind of close the gap just a little bit more. Let's take a look at that replay one more time, Jim. They get the good quick inbound.
And very nice execution. You can see the good screen being set there, setting up Tayshawn Starks on this left-hander's three-pointer at the buzzer to end the third period. Psychologically, that's a big basket for DeSoto, bringing them back within 10 after being down by 15.
Yeah, 41-31. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll be right back with much more here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel.
The Pasadena Chamber of Commerce has been a proud sponsor of the Texas Invitational Basketball Tournament since it began. Our mission is to promote economic development and community growth to ensure the prosperity of our businesses and citizens. Our golf tournament and Taste of the Town fundraising events allow us to invest nearly $20,000 in the lives of our students. We invite you to be a part of the Pasadena Chamber, where together we can build business and support our community.
The best part of being a part is getting back together. Your true love is back. The McRib, only from McDonald's.
And welcome back to the McDonald's Texas Invitational here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Pasadena Chamber of Commerce, home of the Texas Invitational. Of course, the city of Pasadena, established in 1893. They do a fine job here. The Community Bank of Texas, bank where you live, member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Also McDonald's, of course, the title sponsor here of the McDonald's Texas Invitational. I'm loving it. And a 41-31 game. Jeff Power, Jim Holler join you. And 10-point game. DeSoto still within striking distance. And if you're Atascocita, you've played great, but you don't want to rest on your laurels just yet.
Well, you're exactly right, Jeff. And what we have to see, can DeSoto keep coming back after finishing strong to end that third quarter? They were down by 6 at halftime, now down by 10. If they're going to have a chance to win this game, they've got to make a move real quick.
I'd watch for Marquise Bolden. We kind of spotlighted him earlier. There he is on the floor.
He just can't get open right now. They're fronting him, and then they're coming with help on the backside. But the key to that is every time an entry passer looks inside, Atascocita has great pressure on the passer. Remember, we saw him get 4 straight deflections at the start of the third period, and that was big, big, big.
All right, we're ready now for fourth quarter action. Let's get rolling. Again, 41-31, Atascocita leading DeSoto. DeSoto out of the South Dallas area, if you will. Atascocita, northern part of Houston in the Humble ISD. Nice pass to Marquez, laying it in for 2.
Beautiful backdoor cut. You can't do it any better than that. The postman passed it to the cutter. Marquez got the finish. Beautiful.
As we watch one more time on that replay.
Watch this. The key was the postman, Wilmot, coming up to get the pass and then hitting the quick bounce pass on the backdoor cut. Great execution, good play coming out of that third quarter timeout.
Marquez with the steal here, and he's fouled on the play.
Boy, I love to see that kind of basketball. Whenever you have pressure defense, if you can get that quick pass to the post and the wingman can break to the bucket, that is tough to defend. Kudos to Atascocita coming out of that third period, making a key play. Here you go, doing it again. That's
Edwards.
Before Bolden can get there. Great cut. 15th point of the game by Edwards.
Look at Carson Edwards, so quick.
This whole team is quick. How about that? They ran it on the right side to start the fourth period, then come back and run the exact same play on the left side. Terrific coaching by David Martinez.
Hey, we said don't rest on your laurels. They got a full court press going on here. They're up 45-31. Bolden, nicely done, got the friendly roll.
He didn't score in the third quarter. That's his first points of this second half. Nice job, but will it be enough?
Yeah, Bolden's got a great game, doesn't he? The finesse. Atascocita with the turnover there.
There's that pressure. Nice job that time by Dallas Taylor coming out and pressuring that wing pass. See, they've been seeing that overplay on the wing and hitting the post, and then the wing breaks to the basket.
Yeah, we talked about Sneed earlier. He had 21 points against Hebron, Leon Sneed. Some of these other players here for DeSoto are going to have to find a way to step it up here in the fourth, down by 45-33. Moving the ball around the perimeter. Leon Sneed on the dribble, being covered by Brandon LaVille. Back over to Dallas Taylor, who just came off the bench. Now over to Tajon Starks. They move it around.
Well, you see how every man not on the man with the basketball sags in for Atascocita.
Forcing another turnover.
Yeah, they do it so well.
It's like a clinic.
Well, it's a clinic, and it's easy, though, to see what they're doing. Then when they get the turnover, they come down and force the foul. Just nice teamwork.
And the foul there, there's Martinez. I think you'll kind of circle this game as a possible confidence builder. And anytime you beat a team like DeSoto, it really builds your confidence.
Well, he's worked as hard on that sideline as his players have out on the court.
So 45-33 here. Atascocita will inbound the ball. That's Greg Sheed. Several of these players average double figures. Sheed, Marquez. Of course, Edwards leads the way with 18. Wilrott with 8. And you can see it. They like to distribute it evenly. And this man, Marquez, has had a great
their
game.
second leading scorer in the game with 9.
Kept that pivot foot down. Nicely done there by LaVille. And Marquez on the dribble now, being covered by Julian Miranda. Nice dish over to Wilrott.
Wilrott says, I believe I'll pull this one out.
Wilrott. You know you can't really shoot over Bolden, so just trying to look for some help. Greg Sheed. Nice screen from Wilrott. Sheed, he'll pop this one from 15 feet. Oh, off target, off the back
that was
iron.
a great possession by Atascocita. Didn't get the points for the reward, but what great discipline.
There's a nice move on the other end, but off target.
Look at Wilrott go up and get that board. Oh, I like that youngster.
Yeah, Leon Sneed couldn't get it, but on the other side, Carson Edwards' shot, no good. Rebound underneath to Julian Miranda. Foul underneath. This is going the other way now.
Yep, 8th team foul, so DeSoto will be shooting at 1-1. DeSoto just has 4 team fouls here in the second half.
And this is not a typical game for DeSoto. I mean, only scoring 33 points for a team that really likes to run and play transition defense.
Normally they're
score the points.
Yeah, normally they're holding the other team to 33.
Sure.
So this is a little role reversal here.
We talked about this earlier. You like the fact that these teams get a chance to kind of evaluate their talent, see what they need to work on heading into the Thanksgiving break.
Well, these teams from out of town like DeSoto, this is a real chemistry building time. They're in the hotel with each other for 3 straight days. They have a chance to work in team meetings, and this is just a great time of year.
So Miranda sinks that last free throw, 45-35. By the way, the possession arrow will belong to DeSoto in case we have any jump balls here. But I like the fact that these teams get a chance to not only grade their talent, but also put it up against talent from all over the state, really figure out what they need to do to get better. And then once you get into district play, these teams can focus on what they do best.
Well, there was 48 teams in the men's division, and so certainly there was a lot of styles of basketball to not only play against, but to observe. All of these teams watched other games here since Thursday, and it's just a great experience. And this is a terrific tournament for many reasons. Something I wanted to mention while we've got this long time out, Jeff, this tournament has started something last year that I think is so neat. They have an alumni game between the alumni of the Pasadena School District and the Deer Park School District, and they played a 4-quarter, 6-minute per quarter game, and the competitive spirit from both cities was just terrific. I really enjoyed watching it, and some players you and I have got to talk about during their careers. We got to see them play. Jason Scare, of course, from Deer Park, did many games when he was playing at Oklahoma State, and it's just really fun to see these guys. Saw Jeff Wiley from Pasadena. He was an All-American high jumper, jumped 7'4" or something at Baylor years ago, and they were all out here playing, so it's just very neat. And by the way, Pasadena wanted me to mention they won this year.
Yeah,
Deer Park
58-49.
Deer Park won last year by 5. Pasadena won this year.
So they're even, 1-1. Next year will be the rubber game, huh?
Yep.
Physical game, too, I might add. These 2 years, it's been real physical. Nice pass inside. That's a great little entry pass.
That's the 3rd backdoor cut of this quarter that's benefited Atascocita. Great cut that time by Greg Sheed.
Yeah, you see
Man, they
great
use their
pass.
quickness so smartly.
LaVille with that entry pass was beautiful. 47-35. We're down to about 4 minutes to play here, fourth quarter. I keep wanting to say, can Atascocita hang on? But I'm just thinking, you know, right now they're the better team. They're the better team
no
today.
doubt. They sure are. They've got great balance, and I never dreamed they would be this effective defensively with such a small ball club. Wilrod at 6'4" is the biggest player they've had on the floor, but Bolden, he's the leading scorer in the game with, second leading. Edwards has 15 for Atascocita. Bolden has 14.
Bolden can't get this one to go. Rebound, Marquez now pulls this one down. 47-35. Atascocita leading DeSoto. This is the McDonald's Texas Invitational. 12 years and running. Great tournament. Great chance to see maybe a preview of things to come, which will, of course, move over to the Alamo Dome this year in San Antonio in March. Off target on that shot was LaVille. Whistle blows. Might be a timeout.
Yeah, it was a good long rebound by Wilrod for Atascocita, but David called the timeout. David Martinez, head man for Atascocita.
Yeah, Marquez did a nice job of saving it. They got the ball, called the timeout. They knew they were in kind of a bad position there underneath the goal on the far side, and good timeout right there. You know, Martinez, it's been 12 years since he was an assistant coach under Dyer at DeSoto.
Yeah, he said he moved on after DeSoto won that state championship in 2003.
He'd seen enough.
Now Chris Dyer, he has 3 state championships in his realm of greatness in the Dallas area. He won one at Dallas South Oak Cliff High School way back in 1992, and that was his first one, and he's been at DeSoto now. This is his 17th year. I first knew Chris Dyer when he was an assistant coach at Kimball High School under Jimmy Tubbs, who Jimmy became the head coach at SMU. And so Dyer's taught some good ones and learned from some good ones.
Nice block underneath here from Bolden, and back comes DeSoto, 47-35. Just enough time to maybe get back in it. 3:17 to play. Shot is up. Oh, off target. Rebound, no good. Bolden up again, and he's fouled. It's going to count. It's a big play right there. 3 points the hard way.
Well, that is a big play, and you know, in the Atascocita's defense, there's nothing they can do about this. I mean, Bolden at 6'10", he's just going up and over.
Yeah,
he's doing a nice job of using his hands and getting good extension, but that's tough to handle. I just think this youngster's a good player, but Atascocita's done a great job against him. He now has 17 points to become the leading scorer in the game.
Edric Dennis back in the game. I'll tell you another thing about Bolden. He gets friendly rolls off the iron, too,
he's got a soft touch.
Yeah.
He's got that, what I call a shooter's touch. If you have a shooter's touch, you're going to get those kind rolls, as you mentioned.
So the Eagles of Atascocita leading 47-38. It's down to single digits. Down to 3 minutes, though. DeSoto with that defense across their back. Can they play enough defense here down the stretch? They're going to need it. Sheed on the dribble, being covered by Starks.
Boy, Chris Dyer screaming for a 5-second call right there. The striped shirts didn't see it that way.
Yeah, he was on the move, and that ball ends up going out of bounds. Question is, okay, it was off DeSoto.
Now, Atascocita's got the quickness to keep this lead. They're not going to panic because of DeSoto's great speed and quickness. Boy, what
Edwards.
a great decision, getting the ball in the hands of Edwards.
And LaVille crashing there as well. That was a great move. Great
Yeah, they
design
called
play.
the charge, though.
Yeah, that's got to go on Edwards.
Now that was a good play, but you've got to be under control. Especially with just 2:41 to go in the ball game.
And Atascocita with the full court pressure again. They're not letting up. They know it's got to be full throttle. Got a foul? I think they're discussing whether or not there was a foul or just simply an inbound. So looks like they are going to inbound it. Let's watch one more time. Edwards Driving into the paint, and nice job there on the defensive side. Just keep those feet down. It's half the battle. Take that charge.
Well, Atascocita is going to keep doing what got them to where they are, and that's being aggressive. But how about this? DeSoto, as expected, coming back. Tajon Starks hitting another one. That's his second three of this half.
Just like his brother Gerard used to do.
Yeah.
Gerard was on that 2003 DeSoto team. Let's look at this one more time. Look at that. That's like an NBA range three-pointer right
Boy,
there.
the lefty doing a great job. The Atascocita defender was a step away. He drilled it.
You know, in baseball, being left-handed is a big deal. What about basketball? You like the left-handed shot?
I do. Since I was a lefty, I like it. And it does throw the defender off.
Set you up nicely for that one, didn't it?
I'm so old, I used to shoot a hook shot. You don't even see that anymore.
Do you play golf like Phil Mickelson?
Nope,
That's what I want to know.
That's funny. No, I'm a right-handed golfer. That's probably why I'm no good.
There's
Love
a
to
foul.
play, though.
Yeah, it's a good chance to get out and be with your friends. Look at this play right here. Good dribble penetration there from Sheed. And he will go to the charity stripe.
Great aggressiveness. But look at this score. They had cut it to 6. Now it's back to 8. But this Atascocita team, they're opportunists.
And the first shot is up and good.
Sheed now with his fourth point.
Head coach David Martinez, his assistant coaches Monte Cole, Chris Brown, Gerald Orr, Jacody Coleman. We got to see some of those guys over in the hospitality room. We were picking their brain a little bit while we were picking on some food.
A good combination.
Hey, that's a good chance to talk right there.
We talked about Bolden being the leader for Atascocita. Starks has come up now and gone into double figures for DeSoto with 11 points.
And back comes DeSoto with the basketball, up 49-41. 2 minutes to play in this one. And they work it inside, back out. Probably going to try to get it back inside. Shot is good, and that's a three-pointer. That is Edric Dennis, 49-44.
What happened to that 15-point deficit? All of a sudden, we're down to 5.
Man, you never want to overlook
DeSoto.
They get the steal. This could be special. And the lay-in from Leon Sneed. 49-46. Look at the steal right here.
Boy, what was the word I used about 5 minutes ago? Chris Dyer's tenacious. His team is going to be tenacious. No let up by the guys in black. All of a sudden, a one-possession game with very little time left.
And that's a good timeout from Martinez. He
had to call it.
Saw what DeSoto was doing. Had a nice little run there. But let's look at a couple of these plays. The kick
that's
out.
Great ball rotation by DeSoto. They're playing their best now at crunch time. That all started because Bolden quickly, after the double team, kicked it back outside. You mentioned this is a great learning experience. Look at Chris Dyer over there drawing on the floor, on his knees. He's not a youngster anymore, but he gives it all he's got. Well, this is what's great about high school basketball. Isn't that something? You got to admire Chris Dyer.
Let's get him a chair. Slide your chair over there.
He doesn't like that.
No,
he just loves it right there.
Martinez on the floor, too, just like his coach.
You got to love the enthusiasm, the willpower, the want to. Look how those players pay close attention. You don't see any wandering eyes. They're right on their coach. Great camera work by our crew here tonight.
Yeah, let's look at the replay one more time. The nice steal, first of all. And then look at the awareness to not only realize that that's Leon Sneed. Hey, I got to get down the court if I'm not going to get the ball.
Yeah, but now this is a good teaching point. Carson Edwards should have never dribbled into that corner. David Martinez will say, son, let's just learn from it. Don't take it there under pressure anymore. Minute 30 to go. It's a new ball game.
49-46. Atascocita in the lead. They've got the ball. Nice move. The shot is up and in and out by Sheed. And DeSoto with a chance to tie things up. Down 3. And there's the big man underneath, Marquise Bolden.
But how about that penetration that time by Leon Sneed, getting the penetration and kicking it off to Bolden.
That was nice. 1 point game, 49-48, just like the girls' championship. Oh, look at the block coming back here.
The block right to my partner, Jeff Power.
Made a
Good
nice
hands,
catch
man.
there, didn't I?
And how about Bolden coming from the offside, using all 6'10" of his body plus the long arms.
Here we go, 49-48, 47 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. 1-point game. Atascocita is led throughout. Here's the shot, off target. DeSoto with the rebound. Edwards couldn't get it to go, and here comes Julian Miranda on the dribble, down to 30 seconds. DeSoto feeling the momentum inside to Bolden. He can't get it to go, but he will go to the free throw line. And DeSoto could take their first lead since beginning of the game.
Beginning of the second quarter. Whoa, what a great job DeSoto's doing, penetrating now. All of a sudden say, hey, let's us be the aggressor. Great results. Bolden has not been effective at the free throw line, but let's see if he can tie it up here.
On a day where
he was shooting, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got two opportunities to tie it or put them ahead. What a great comeback, 15 down late in the third period.
First shot up and good, 49 all.
Boy, what a great learning experience for this youngster. Now all of a sudden he's got 20 points. He's got good hands right here to make this free throw opportunity possible.
Second shot from Bolden is good as well.
What'd you say a while ago? He's got the shooter's roll. That's right, because he's got the soft touch. Boy, Bolden has led this comeback with great effort by his teammates to penetrate and get it to him.
He's got 20 points.
Well, in the hands of their leader, Carson Edwards. Good timeout by David Martinez with 17 seconds to go.
So 50-49, DeSoto has come all the way back.
Well, I guess being down on his hands and knees worked for Chris Dyer. It's all in the presentation, Jeff.
Yeah, Chris Dyer, he drew up that play on his hands and knees, and that's what it takes sometimes. Let's look at this dunk one more time. Watch the pass
and you can watch the great penetration right there, and Bolden with the good hands going up, not only making the dunk, but he hits the two free throws to put him up for the first time in a long, long time.
Yeah, here we are drawing up another play. This is Coach Martinez on the other side here from Atascocita. David Martinez. Well, what'd you think, Coach? What are they going to do? You see that play?
If it was, I don't know who he was numbers-wise, but I would get the ball in the hands of Carson Edwards or Paris Marquez. They've hit the shots. That was a good shot by Marquez. You don't have that many experiences where you've got a 6'10" kid coming from that far off to get the block, but how about Bolden taking this game over in the last minute and a half? The key block and the 4 big points.
Yeah, that golden block. There's the trophy right there.
Well, when they were down by
1.
15, it didn't look possible, but we'll see if DeSoto can win this tournament for the second straight year. That has not been done since 2006.
They'll have to earn it. Here we go. Final 14 seconds. Sheed on the dribble, over to Marquez. Looking for Edwards. Edwards, 5 seconds. He's gonna have to do something. The three-pointer is up and no good off the front of the iron. The rebound is up and in! Brandon LaVille, and that's a game winner. Wow.
Off of an offensive rebound, the long, long shot by Carson Edwards goes off, but as you said, LaVelle at the right place at the right time. What a shot. No block out for DeSoto. Fundamentals right there.
You know what? I'm going to say it. What a deserving victory right there for Atascocita. Don't get me wrong. Great comeback by DeSoto. But for Atascocita, who played so well for 3.5 quarters, to find a way to get that last-second shot to win it, that's huge for the program.
That just goes to show that the ball game is not over till the last tick of the clock takes place. Just a phenomenal heads-up play by Atascocita to follow the missed shot and put it back in.
Trophy presentation coming up, and what a great opportunity for building your confidence. Look at the shot, first of all. As you can see, Carson Edwards was off target, but look at the rebound by Brandon LaVille, and it is in right before the buzzer, I might add. And there's Paris Marquez underneath with a celebration, too.
Well, what you kept mentioning, what a great teaching tool this early in the year. Great teaching tool for Atascocita. Don't ever give up. Great teaching tool at this opportunity for DeSoto. forget to block out, it might cost you.
Yeah. And, you know, there's no question, the game itself, Marquise Bolden kind of took things over there in the fourth quarter, but when it came right down to it, Atascocita, with their good ball movement, they made just enough plays to win this game by a point.
Well, it was total team effort, both offensively and defensively. David Martinez was not wrong when he told us before the game, hey, I've got a bunch of good players, and they were all very, very important right down to the last tick of the clock.
And overall, just your thoughts about what David Martinez has been able to do here at Atascocita. I mean, this is a great win for their program.
Well, he's a builder. He built at Clearbrook after leaving DeSoto as an assistant. He built at Humble. Now he's building at Atascocita. What a great confidence builder for his team and for himself.
And I tell you, Humble ISD, watch out for Atascocita this year. That's a good-looking team. And DeSoto, I mean, they're still going to be one of the favorites to get back to the state tournament. They were there last year. They've got a great squad. You know Coach Dyer will get them back.
Well, and remember, one of their starters from the state tournament last year will be joining them next week. Dominique Thomas, a 6'2" guard. He may have been the difference maker.
This has been a lot of fun, and I know our sponsors are happy to be a part of this particular tournament because it's not only a great tournament, it's a great field. 80 teams from all over the state of Texas. I'd like to thank Pasadena Chamber of Commerce, home of the Texas Invitational. Of course, the city of Pasadena, established in 1893. Community Bank of Texas, bank where you live, member FDIC, equal housing lender. And, of course, McDonald's, our title sponsor of the McDonald's Texas Invitational. I'm loving it, and I love this game. It was a fantastic finish. DeSoto falls by a point. I know that's a hard loss for them, but no question, Jim, a great game.
Well, it was a great game, and before we sign off, just let me say for both of us what a privilege it is to be part of this McDonald's Texas Invitational. A great game fitting a great tournament.
So it is going to be a final score as DeSoto falls by 1 point to Atascocita. This is a game that they will circle. It was a marquee matchup for them and a great chance to come out here and prove what they can do. They win it 51-50, your final score in the Battle of Eagles. Great game. Congratulations to North Shore as well. The girls, they won the title over Cy Woods. For Jim Holler and everybody a part of this broadcast, we really appreciate you being here with us, and we'll catch you next time here on Time Warner Cable Sports.